Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you see, we are following up minute by minute the situation in the occupied territories, and for the second day, there is battlefields between the Israeli side and Hamas resistance group of Palestine, and now it moved to Hezbollah on the borders between Israel and Lebanon. We are going to shed more light on this with our dear guest live via phone, as we promised, the Egyptian participation in the ESCO's Year of Youth in the ceremony, which was taking place yesterday with the participation of Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli on behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. We are very much delighted to have with us via phone Her Excellency Ambassador Soad Shalaby, former Assistant Foreign Minister. A very good morning to you, Ambassador Soad.
Good morning, Nasreen.
As I was speaking about the situation in the Gaza Strip, in the occupied territories, and since yesterday there are battles on the ground with hundreds of Palestinians falling martyrs, in addition to the attacks from the Hamas resistance group on some Israeli locations. And as usual, Egypt is shouldering its responsibility as a key player in the Middle East, to hold intensive contacts with key international players to try to find a settlement for the situation, to pacify the situation in the Gaza Strip. And yesterday there were intensive talks between President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and a number of international figures like his French counterpart and Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shaya Sudani, and of course Minister Sameh Shukri, Minister of Foreign Affairs, with a number of his counterparts. How do you see the Egyptian stance, as I said, all the time feeling such responsibility towards the Palestinian cause?
Well, this happened. What happened yesterday by the attack from the Hamas and from the resistance movement in Gaza was an outcome to what happened during the past 8 months. It was expected that there will be a retaliation because of the loss of lives every day in the innocent lives of Palestinians who go to the Aqsa Mosque to pray, or to just be badly treated in the occupied territories. Especially that they have lost maybe more than 200 Palestinian innocent civilians during the past 8 months. So what happened yesterday was expected, because they wanted to retaliate against what is happening to them. Not only the last 8 months, but during the past 75 years of occupation of the land, confiscation of the land, treating them like second-class citizens, and no peace solution. The peace process has been stopped, and the international community has been silent. So this is what was expected. And now what happened is that, of course, the role of Egypt, the role of the international community is to stop the retaliation on both sides, and to stop all these the humanitarian aid is not coming, of course, and yesterday there was no electricity in all of Gaza. They were bombed during the night, and the big buildings were collapsing. And of course, many innocent people have died, have lost their lives on both sides, in Israel and in Palestine. So Egypt is asking for both sides to stop retaliation and to give themselves a chance for peace, because, of course, the peace process has been stopped. But if the international community and the United States will be fair enough to give the Palestinians their rights in order to express their legitimate rights. This will will
All
lead
over the day
to the
yesterday,
solution.
all over the day, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi was keen to follow up minute by minute from the Strategic Center for Crisis Management, the situation in Gaza, and he had a phone call with his French counterpart Emmanuel Macron, with the Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shaya al-Sudani, and when it comes to our foreign minister, our top diplomat, he had phone calls with his UAE, Jordanian, and Saudi counterparts from the Arab world, and with Joseph Borrell of the EU, and also with his French counterpart, the French foreign minister. How do you see the number of consultations or number of phone calls taking place, and how this is going to end? With a meeting in the United Nations Security Council, for example, with more contacts with both sides, because as we see, the situation is escalating now, as we see with the urgent on the screen, that now, as we speak, even there are battles between the Israeli side and some of Hezbollah targets on the border with Lebanon. How do you see the whole situation, Ambassador Soad?
Yes, of course. Egypt is one of the most important neighbors to Gaza and to Israel, and that is why the President and the Minister of Foreign Affairs have been in contact, close contact with all the neighbors of the region, and also the United States have the President of the United States have mentioned that Egypt yesterday in his speech he mentioned that Egypt has to play a role. So and we did that during the past whenever there was conflict, and we are ready to play a role. But the two parties have to accept Egypt's role, of course,
sure,
to stop the escalation of the military escalations on both sides, because the killing of innocent people will not lead to anything.
Amen to that. We are against the killing of innocent people, of civilians in both sides. Innocent people, civilians, they have nothing to do with the war. They have nothing to do with conflict.
Of course.
Amen to that. If you permit me, we are going now to move to ESCO because we are running out of time, unfortunately. On behalf of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli participated yesterday in the launch of ESCO's Year of Youth. It's the Islamic World Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. If you permit me, Ambassador Saad, we need to know more about ESCO itself as an organization, its history, its targets, achievements so far, you name it.
Okay, ESCO was established in 1982. It's one of the agencies of the OIS, the Organization of Islamic Countries. ESCO stands for the Islamic Science and Technology, and its headquarters is in Rabat, and it is mainly focused with its 54 members, mainly focused on education, on culture, because of the need for the countries of members of ESCO to focus on the heritage, the culture, the education, and that is why they have announced, or they have declared this year is the year of the youth. The youth of all the 54 countries have come together, and they did an initiative under the patronage of President Sisi, and they have designed to enhance the capabilities and the skills of youth in the member states, in all the member states, the youth and the women. So the target was to empower the youth and to contribute to peace and coexistence and dialogue.
And the Prime Minister, Dr. Madbouli, in his speech in the inauguration ceremony, stressed the importance of empowering youth and said Egypt is ready to exchange its experience regarding empowering youth and qualifying youth cadres to lead the future and to build their own future with their own hands in Egypt in various domains. He also said that youth is one of the top priorities of the political leadership in Egypt. If you want to elaborate on that too.
Yes, of course, Egypt has always been in the forefront, putting education and culture in the priority. In the as we see that there have been a lot of programs that have been discussed yesterday during the meeting with Prime Minister Madbouli, focusing on the activities and the initiatives for youth. For instance, the establishment of Education and Talent Support Fund, and this was discussed also, the provision of scholarships for young people in order to become leaders. And there has been also focus on the training on peace and security for women and youth. Mm-hmm. So the issue is to provide peace ambassadors from the different countries and to give a role for the youth and women to build peace and secure societies.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to elaborate on what's the role of Egypt, because Egypt has always been giving the education and culture the priority and the focus, and that is why the ministers of education and scientific research have been
Dr. Ayman Ashur.
Yes, they together with all the other ministers, they met yesterday.
This was my coming question, Ambassador Soad, regarding the fruitful coordination between the organization, ESCO, and the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research. How do you see in general this collaboration and coordination among ministries or governmental bodies in Egypt and other international organizations for the best interest of youth in general, not only our youth, but youth in all the member states, ESCO's countries in general? I mean, this is a win-win situation, I mean.
Of course, the member states, the ministers of education and scientific research met, and they discussed how to empower the youth of all the countries, the members of the ESCO. They were discussing how to support the creations and the innovations, the talents of the young people. Of course, there has been a lot of new and innovations, like of course, artificial intelligence, the different social media, and the programs that have been implemented by ESCO during the past. But the vision now is to develop young people's skills and to make a place for the future, the requirements of the future. They urge the universities to develop their curriculum. They have to be up to date with all what is happening in the world, the global transformation. So motivating the youth in the field of modern technology is very important. The digital technology, the artificial intelligence, the metaverse, raise the awareness of young people. This is what they were discussing yesterday, to play a key role in their environment, to protect their climate, to watch the risks of the climate change. Mm-hmm. So that is why the ESCO is focusing on the future, and they have a strategy of coordination and integration between all the member states in the areas of competence and in the areas of culture and
in different domains and
heritage.
different fields. Ambassador Soad Shalaby, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you very much for your input, ma'am, and have a very good day. And the inauguration ceremony, it took place in the new administrative capital. It was another way for propagating for our new cities. The new administrative capital is a source of pride for all of us, and hosting such international important events is one of the ways we do to let the whole world know about our new capital and in general the development and or the renaissance in developments here in Egypt we are really witnessing. Ladies and gentlemen, as you see, we are witnessing and we are following up minute by minute the situation in the Gaza Strip since yesterday, since the violence erupted, and unfortunately with its repercussions, and also the Egyptian intensive contacts to try to diffuse the violence there. Right after this, we are going to turn back with more, so stay tuned.
موطني الجلال والجمال والسناء والبهاء في رباك في رباك والحياة والنجاة والهناء والرجاء في هواك في هواك هل أراك سالما منعما وغانما مكرما سالما منعما وغانما مكرما هل أراك في علاك تبلغ السماء تبلغ السماء موطني موطني.
Egypt is conducting a comprehensive development process in Sinai and in the canal cities too. The Cabinet's Information and Decision Support Center said East Port Said port has advanced 3 places in the container performance index to jump from the 13th place to the 10th place worldwide. As we see, we are going to witness all the time many jumps in international ranks regarding our ports, and particularly developing Sinai is a key priority, and the political leadership said it more than once that developing Sinai, it's not only a priority, it's a target, and in the same time it's a duty to this very dear part of Egypt, to Sinai. Let's watch and then we are going to turn back.